As humans, we have weird qualities. When we drive by car accidents, we look, we watch horror movies, we make ourselves feel weird, and for some reason, you like hearing crazy 911 calls.
911, what's your emergency?
Not only do you want to hear them, you want to hear what happened, so that is what we're doing here today. This first 911 call not only makes me so angry, but made the whole world very, very angry. This 911 dispatcher was an arsehole, and a woman died because of it.
Tonight, the 911 outrage. A dispatcher on her final shift, taking a call from a woman stranded in her car as floodwaters rise. She panics, but it's what the dispatcher says that's so shocking. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Tonight, a dying woman's heartbreaking call to 911 as raging floodwaters have filled her SUV in Arkansas. The aftermath captured on police body cam.
Please help me, I don't want to die.
The 911 dispatcher under fire for the disturbing responses she gave. Deborah Stevens.
I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before.
Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water. No. I don't see how you didn't see it.
Really?
You had to go right over it.
Stevens ultimately drowned. Despite frantic efforts, officials say, by first responders to find her. Police describing the operator's response as calloused and uncaring at times.
I completely understand the disgust, and we would all hope that we would get a little bit better response.
See, that absolutely blew my mind. So I had to look into this case because I needed to see what happened to that 911 dispatcher and what the woman's family thought. Can you imagine calling? And I'm gonna be honest, I have a hard time with 911. I've had to call it about 4 times in my life, and 3 out of the 4 times, it was horrible. It's like I had clicked on to the most egotistical, meanest person. One time I dropped my mom, and they're just like, shh, shh, shh. And I'm trying to tell them my address, and they're like, hold on, hold on. And another time, I called 911 3 times, and they didn't pick up. Cool. Anyways, to the article. Fort Smith, Arkansas, a former 911 dispatcher in Arkansas was cleared of any wrongdoing in how she handled a call in which she scolded a panicking woman for driving into floodwaters before she drowned. Okay, at nighttime too, sometimes you don't see water. An internal investigation by the Fort Smith Police Department found that Donna Renault performed her duties as required. Renault was working her final shift. As soon as she said she wanted to leave, she should have been taken off. On August 24th, when she took the call from the 47-year-old Deborah Stevens, a newspaper delivery woman who later drowned as her SUV was swept away. Please help me, I don't want to die. Stevens can be heard begging in the 22-minute 911 call previously released by police. I can't swim, I'm scared, I'm going to... The department received hundreds of phone calls saying Renault was disrespectful for scolding Stevens as she sobbed and asked her for help, telling her,
This will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
will you pray for me? Stevens can be heard asking the dispatcher at one point during the call. You go ahead and start off the prayer and I'll listen to you, Renault responds. I sure will. Renault, who was working her final shift after giving her notice 2 weeks, told Stevens that the authorities will get there when they get there and that she's not going to die. At one point, telling her to shut up. I'm sorry if I'm being rude, I'm just scared. Stevens can be heard telling Renault on the phone,
I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before.
Well, this will teach you.
By the time that rescue crews were able to secure the car, Stevens had drowned. Renault faced no criminal charges in Stevens' death. None, like none at all. I guess she left the job. There's not much you could do. There has to be something there, but of course not. I hope their family sued. Dean Pitts, who led the police department's review, said that despite the manner in which Renault spoke to Stevens, there was no negligence in Renault's actions in dispatching, which I guess, that's what she's there for. First responders or in the actions of those who responded to the scene. In the report, Pitts wrote Renault's actions wouldn't have merited being fired, and that it's often necessary to take stern or commanding tone. Okay. You still have to have good bedside manner, and that is how I feel about that. I actually ended up going around Facebook and Reddit posts seeing what she does now, and one person, I don't know if this is real, said that she's now a police officer. I hope that's not true. Okay, quick break. We need to talk about something. I am a certified nighttime doom scroller. During the day, I am rational. I am calm. I am balanced. But at 11 p.m., I'm Googling. Why does my shoulder feel slightly different than it did before 2 p.m.? And the internet is like, congratulations. It's either nothing or you have 14 minutes left. And I'm just lying here like, okay, cool, love that journey for me. So this video is sponsored by ZocDoc, and it genuinely solves this exact problem. Because instead of spiraling at night, imagining the worst, and convincing yourself that you're about to become a medical mystery, you can just book a real, actual doctor. ZocDoc is a free website where you can find and book high-quality in-network doctors. There are over 150,000 providers across all 50 states. You can search by specialty or symptom across 200 plus specialties. You can filter by your insurance, and you can read verified patient reviews. You can also see real-time availability and book literally instantly. You can even choose between in-person visits or video visits. So instead of doom scrolling for 2 hours and deciding your eyelid twitch is a dramatic origin story, you can just calmly book someone qualified to tell you what is actually going on. Appointments through ZocDoc typically happen between 24 to 72 hours, and sometimes they're even same day, which is significantly better than diagnosing myself with something that sounds like it was discovered in 1872. So if you're like me and your brain gets a little dramatic at night, go to ZocDoc.com/Selena and book a top-rated in-network doctor today. Be proactive, be calm, be less dramatic than me at 11 p.m. So don't forget, go to ZocDoc.com/Selena. And okay, let's get back to the video before I convince myself that I need to Google something else. Why does that itch? The next 911 call that we have is going to be from a YouTuber that was really popular in the 2010s, 2015 era. Now, I want you to guess while we listen who you think it is, and let's jump into it after.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online, and they just showed up to my house.
Okay, and they're outside now?
Yes, they're knocking on my door.
Okay. And do you know if they have any weapons?
They have a bunch of camera people, like they're YouTube stalkers.
Okay. But no weapons seen?
I didn't see any weapons. I just saw like 6 guys in my driveway, and one of them is knocking on my door.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay, and what do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
Ah! Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Yeah, it's Onion Boy himself. It is Onision. Now I'm gonna say I am guilty of really enjoying Onision's content. Before all of this shit had hit the fan in his life and we found out that he has done some, you know what? He likes to sue people. He has been accused of doing some very horrible things. And if you want to go down a rabbit hole of a case that will blow your mind, Chris Hansen has done a lot of work about Onision. But oh my God, is it interesting? It's terrible. And wow, the internet was, I feel like there needs to be a whole video made on just how the internet was a different place in 2011. Oh my God. But that is Onion Boy himself. Sup, Greg? And now a celebrity 911 call.
911 emergency.
Someone has broken into my house. I'm hiding in the closet.
They're in the house now?
Yes, they are. I just saw them walk into the attic. I have
Is it a man or a woman?
I think it was a man.
What's your name, ma'am?
Sandra Bullock.
All right, Sandra, I'm going to stay on the phone with you till the officers get there, okay?
Okay.
I want you to let me know if you hear or see anything at all.
I'm in my closet. I don't think I could see anything. I have a safe door in my bedroom, and I've locked it, and I'm locked in the closet right now.
Oh, she sounds so scared. It makes me sad.
Dispatch to the police, okay? Don't hang up on me. Do you have any weapons? Are you armed?
No, I'm not. I hear someone banging on the door.
To your bedroom?
Yes.
8029 suspects now attempting to gain entry to the bedroom.
Are they close?
We don't have a way to track where they are. I just know that they've been en route for about 4 minutes since the call came in. Okay, there's an officer.
Oh, 4 minutes must have felt like an hour.
Do what? I'm sorry?
I said do not go out there.
Okay, and just have them walk around. I'll stay right here.
I'm going to let you know what they're going to do, okay?
Is that them knocking at my door?
Are you knocking on the
I
door?
hear them I hear them. And tell them, no, I saw the guy go upstairs into my attic.
They're entering, so they've got an open door, so they're coming in, okay?
I hear them, yeah. Thank you so much for being so nice. Thank you.
3-5, stand by, team suspect in custody. Okay, they're taking him into custody now.
Oh, they have him?
They have him. You can hang up. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. So that was Sandra Bullock's 911 call, and it was really interesting to look into this case. A man who offed himself during a standoff with Los Angeles police was convicted last year of breaking into Sandra Bullock's home and stalking the Oscar-winning actress. Joshua James Corbett missed a court date last month and on Wednesday barricaded himself inside his house when police arrived to serve him an arrest warrant. Attorney Steve Stickoff told the Associated Press Corbett was due to appear for a progress report report as part of his probation in the Bullock stalking. Corbett pleaded no contest to the felony stalking and burglary charges after being arrested inside Bullock's West Los Angeles home in 2014. He was sentenced to continuing mental health treatment and probation. He was also ordered to stay away from the Miss Congeniality actress and not attempt to contact her for 10 years. 10 years? Bullock never personally appeared during the case, but her frantic 15-minute 911 call while hiding inside her closet was a key piece of evidence that led a judge to order Corbett to stand trial. So not only does this person obviously suffer from a big mental health situation, they ended up taking themselves out of life, which is wild. It's always so weird to hear a celebrity in fear, like anybody, obviously anyway, but it's weird because you associate these people with these roles and then you hear them in real life and it humanizes them quite a lot. The next 911 call that we have is a case that has blown America's mind, the world's mind, for a very long time.
Cleveland 911.
Hello, please. Help me. I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here.
So now this case is mind-blowing. These are the Ariel Castro kidnapping. So it wasn't just the woman that you heard on this 911 call. Between 2002 and 2010, Ariel Castro abducted Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus from the roads of Cleveland, Ohio, United States. And later, he held them captive in his home at 2207 Seymour Avenue in the city's Tremont neighborhood. All three young women were imprisoned in Castro's home until 2013, when Berry finally successfully escaped with her 6-year-old daughter, to whom she had given birth to while held captive, and contacted the police. Police rescued Knight, DeJesus, and arrested Castro a few hours later. So first there was Michelle Knight. So born April 23rd, 1981, she disappeared on August 23rd, 2002, after leaving the cousin's house. She was 21 years old at the time. On the day of her disappearance, she was scheduled to appear in court for a child custody case involving her son Joey, who was in the custody of the state. Following Knight's rescue, police acknowledged the limited resources have been spent on investigating her disappearance, in part because she was an adult. Authorities believe that she had just run away voluntarily due to anger over losing custody of her son. According to Cleveland Deputy of Police Chief Ed Tomba, she was the focus of very few tips. Some criticize her subsequent removal from the National Crime Information Center database 15 months after she disappeared, which made her largely unknown prior to the rescue. The Cleveland Division of Police and the Federal Bureau of Investigation maintained that her inclusion or exclusion had no bearing on her rescue. Then there's Amanda Berry, who was born April 22nd, 1986. She disappeared on April 21st, 2003, the day before her 17th birthday. She was last heard from around 8 p.m. when she called her sister to tell her that she was getting a ride home from her job at Burger King. The FBI initially considered her a runaway until a week after her disappearance, when an unidentified male used her cell phone to call her mother, Luana Miller. He said, "I have Amanda. She's fine and she'll be coming home in a couple days." Berry was featured in a 2004 segment of Fox's America's Most Wanted, which linked her to Gina DeJesus, who by that point had also gone missing in Cleveland. Berry and DeJesus were profiled on the Oprah Winfrey Show, the Montel Williams Show, and the self-proclaimed psychic Sylvia Brown told Berry's mother, Luana Miller, in 2004 that her daughter was dead and that she was in water. This pronouncement devastated her mother, causing her to take down pictures and give away Berry's computer. However, Miller continued to search for Berry before dying from heart failure in March 2006. Later that year, on December 25th, 2006, Berry gave birth to a daughter. DNA evidence has confirmed that Castro was the father of the child. Now we have Georgina Lynn DeJesus. She was born February 13th, 1990 and went missing on April 2nd, 2004 at the age of 14. She was last seen at a payphone around 3 p.m. while on the way home from middle school. At that time, she was friends with Castro's daughter, Arlene. Shortly before Gina disappeared, she and Arlene had called Arlene's mother, Grimilda Figueroa, to get permission to have a sleepover at DeJesus' house. But she replied that she could not, and the two girls parted ways. Arlene was the last person to see DeJesus before her disappearance. It was under the impression that Castro was picking her up to drop her off at home, and she trusted Castro because she was friends with his teenage daughter. No one witnessed her abduction, and the Amber Alert was not issued, which angered her father. He said in 2009, 2006. The Amber Alert should work for any missing child. Whether it's an abduction, a runaway, a child needs to be found, and we need to change this law. A year after De Jesus' disappearance, the FBI re-released a composite sketch and description of the male suspect, described as Latino, 25 to 35 years of age, 5'10", and 165 to 185 pounds with green eyes and a goatee. According to court records, Castro was 5'7", 179 pounds with brown eyes and a goatee. It is crazy that someone can go missing, be abducted, and never be found for such a long time. It really makes you wonder what's in the basement of your neighbor. Now, the next one is cool and I have not listened to, and it is someone who worked for 911 in one of their craziest experiences. This is coming from the user Bayou Brandy on TikTok.
Here's my most memorable 911 call that I ever took. In 2004-2005, we dispatched off what was called a CAD map. Now, the CAD map had to be manually updated. So as new subdivisions were being built, new addresses were being added, those addresses had to be manually entered by someone in order for them to validate. When I validate the address, it pulls it up, the location on my map. It also tells me where all the other officers are in relation to that. And it also would tell me the call history that happened at that address. Working a weekend day shift, and this lady calls 911. And the address that she gives me does not validate, and I try a couple different ways. She tells me the location of about where it's at, and I went ahead and just put it in at a nearest cross street, and then I manually typed in the address and we dispatched it out over the radio as that address. So we've already got help on the way while I ask her what's going on. She is very upset, and I finally am able to get her to calm down, and she tells me that she has a new baby and the baby has drowned in the bathtub. She says, and she turned around only for a second. He was face down in the water and the baby was blue. Getting her to do CPR, or I'm trying to get her to do CPR. I will never forget, I asked her, what is the baby's name? It was Jacob. Not uncommon at all for someone to be hysterical when you're trying to give CPR, right? Because that's traumatic. Something just wasn't right. I asked her to count the compressions out loud and the breaths. I don't know if we still do, but back then you did compressions and breaths for a newborn. When she started counting, she was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just wasn't working. And then the phone disconnected. And then when I tried to call her back, she didn't answer. Not super uncommon, because a lot of times people just lose their shit during 911 calls, right? I checked with the people that were working the radio, and no one had made it on scene yet. Come to find out, everyone had gotten lost. The first person that ended up being on scene was the fire chief. He happened to live very close to there. He was out in his civilian vehicle. He had his radio with him. He knew exactly where it was. So the fire chief ended up being the first person on scene. He knocks on the door and no one answers. The story goes that he walks back to his personal vehicle. He's going to retrieve his cell phone and call dispatch and check. And as he's walking back to the car, the woman comes outside and she closes the door behind her, and she's very upset. And he's like, where's the baby? And she's like, the baby's inside. And when he tells the story later, he says that was his first red flag. Why wouldn't she have the baby in her arms? So she doesn't let him in the house. She goes and retrieves the baby. The baby, come to find out, is 9 months old, I believe. 6 to 9 months old, I think 9. And she hands the baby to Frankie Nine Fingers, and she leaves and goes back in the house. And he said in his 30 plus years of working in the field, he had never had a mother who was in distress that she just hands over and walks away.
No.
Can you guess where this is going yet? So everyone finally arrives on scene. They do end up transporting Jacob after they've already intubated him in the front yard. And although he did survive, he did have a lack of oxygen to his brain for a substantial amount of time. And he ended up brain dead, but on life support at the hospital. Luminol in the bathroom. And sure enough, they found blood everywhere when she disconnected the phone, and when she wasn't answering the front door, and when she wouldn't let Frankie Nine Fingers in the house. Apparently she was cleaning up the blood, and what they determined happened was that she aggressively beat him. She did end up being convicted, and once the state took full custody of Jacob, they made the decision to take him off of life support.
Oh, I didn't listen to that and I didn't think it'd be about kids. They're always horrible, but they hit really different when you're a mom. Postpartum depression is terrible, but hurting a child in any way is absolutely horrible. That's a crazy story, and I think we think about what officers go through and ambulance people go through and fire go through, but we don't really think about what the dispatchers go through, and they're the first mode of communication, and it must be so hard for them to just want to help, but they can't. They're literally in a chair in an office just trying to calm somebody down. That is horrible.
Cleveland Police, can you hear me? Is that you telling me you can hear me? Okay, I'm going to take the banging as a yes. So, do you require police? Are you hurt in any way? So just to confirm, bang again, are you hurt? Bang again if you are.
This is
bang
amazing.
Again if you need an ambulance. Okay, are you on your own? Right, okay. Need to know, is it your breathing? Are you breathing okay? Bang if it's a yes. Right. Am I right in saying that you're struggling with your breathing? Okay. From your breathing, do you have any other injuries? Are you on the floor? Okay, you're not. Are you in bed? You're in bed. Okay. Let you know I've rang an ambulance, okay? We'll get somebody there for you, alright?
Aww, she knew. She clicked in immediately.
Well, we will be with you soon. Can you bang again for yes? Is the door unlocked? So the door is locked. Bang if for a yes. Is the door locked? Right, okay. Just wondering how we're going to get in, so we'll need to get police to break into your property, okay?
Oh,
right, why are you banging so heavy? Is that okay? Bang for yes again. Are you able to go to your front door and unlock it? You are. I suggest you go at the front door.
She's so good at this.
Can you do that? Knock for yes. Okay. We've got an ambulance on the way, alright? Good. Okay, we'll be there soon, alright?
Jeez. So I looked into this case. It's amazing. A man who's unable to speak met the 999 operator who helped save his life after realizing tapping was his way of communicating over the phone. Stephen McLaren, whose larynx was recently removed, rang the emergency number after he coughed up blood. Catherine Longstaff, an operator at Cleveland's police control room, then asked a series of questions which could be answered by yes or no tapping. A handwritten message, the 63-year-old Mr. McLaren said, "I owe you my life. Thank you, Catherine," he added. The pair met at a Stockton police station where they described him as a brave man. Somebody asked me. No, I don't want this as a job. I was about to say this would be a fun job, but no, never mind. Never mind.
I'm gonna ask some Skinwalk because I'm stuck in a dangerous place, and I will be.
Are you in a vehicle?
I'm in a vehicle. My vehicle got stuck in a really bad way.
Oh, he's making a heart.
Can you track my phone right now?
I am trying to get my phone to pull you up. Yes.
How far out does help? How far out does help, madam?
Give me just a second. We're radioing right now, okay?
Oh, okay. They're coming back. How close are you?
Okay, our officers are a little bit away.
I'm gonna have to kill some skinwalkers. Can you stay on the phone with me?
Are you able to drive?
No, I'm stuck. Do you know what a skinwalker is, man?
No, not really.
That has to be so scary to hear.
There's been a lot of bad driving on the road recently, so I've been just driving around, kind of cruising the left lane about the speed limit, and then I'll find people going about 40 miles an hour, and they try to swerve to hit you, and I've just been keeping my safe distance behind these people and using my crystals to drain the negativity out of them so that they don't do that anymore.
Okay, so they tried to hit you with their car?
Yeah.
This case I found really interesting because I was wondering if it was paranormal or what was going on, and what I ended up finding was terrible, terrifying, and horrific. So this is a 22-year-old who police said committed no crime, was and killed officers responding to his call for help when he said, "I'm not dangerous." The family of 22-year-old Colorado man is seeking charges against the officers who shot and killed him on June 11th after he called 911 asking for help because his car got stuck. "I'm stuck in a dangerous place and I will be killed," Glass can be heard saying in a rambling phone call to emergency services. That was released by his family's lawyers. There, he repeatedly told the operator that he loves her, discusses draining negativity out of people with crystals, and fixates on skinwalkers watching him from outside his vehicle. "I'm gonna need immediate assistance, please," he begged. "I'm going through a lot right now." The amateur geologist had 2 small knives and a hammer inside his vehicle, which he disclosed to both the 911 operator and the officer as they arrived at the scene, offering repeatedly to throw them outside the vehicle to make officers feel safe. "I'm not dangerous. I will keep my hands completely visible," he told the 911 operator. "I understand this is a dodgy situation for you guys as well." When law enforcement arrived, body camera footage revealed that Glass did keep his hands visible for almost the entirety of the interactions with the Clear Creek Sheriff deputies and the Colorado State Patrol officers. He even made heart signs with his hands in gestures of peace towards the officers, but refused to exit his car. He said he was terrified for nearly 70 minutes. Officers in the video are seen joking at each other and talking peacefully with the 22-year-old, with an officer at one time approaching his vehicle saying that he isn't scared of Glass's behavior. "We're not going to you," an officer can be heard saying. Despite this and the fact that a Colorado State Patrol officer can be heard on the radio saying that Glass had committed no crime and the patrol should move on, officers on the scene decided to breach the car window and remove him. One officer stood on the hood of the surrounded car while a second broke into the passenger side window, at which point Glass grabbed his small rock knife and appears to both brandish it towards the officer and possibly cut himself. Officers used then lethal beanbag rounds and shot Glass with a taser, shouting commands at him while he screamed, but the 22-year-old did not attempt to exit the vehicle or engage with any of the officers around him. Ultimately, an officer identified as Clear Creek County Sheriff Deputy Andrew Buin shot Glass 5 times and killed him. An attorney for the Glass family, Sidera Ratad, told Insider that Buin was the first to arrive at the scene and repeatedly escalated the encounter. Christian was clearly in crisis, but what that crisis was, we'll never know. Glass had a history of minor depression and took medication for ADHD. He also smoked marijuana, which is legal in the state of Colorado, but had no significant mental health illnesses or a past history of psychosis. What we do know is that when someone calls 911, whether they're scared or having a mental health crisis, this isn't what we expect of our law enforcement, and this isn't how they should respond. So that is one where I had listened to it and I needed to know what happened, and it is crazy what did, and rest in peace to that young man, and terrible situation.
I've been abducted.
Who abducted you?
John Green.
911, what is the address to your emergency?
By the street laundromat.
What is it?
Fourth Street laundromat.
What's the problem?
I've been abducted.
Who abducted you?
John Green.
You said John Green?
Sean Great.
Where's he at now?
Asleep.
Where's he sleeping at?
In the bedroom.
In what bedroom?
There's 2 houses right by the laundry street, and it's in one of those houses.
But you're at the laundromat?
No, I'm in the bedroom with them. Please hurry.
Where did he take you from?
My apartment. I was walking with him.
You were walking with him? Where were you walking to?
I've known him for like a month and a half.
Is there any way you can get out of the building?
I don't know without waking him, and I'm scared.
And if you told him you had to go to the bathroom, he would do something to you?
Yeah, because he had me tied up.
Are you tied up now?
Well, yeah, but I kind of freed myself. Are they on the way?
We have officers responding.
Please do not.
Hey, if you're worried, you don't have to talk to me. Just set the phone down, okay?
That's crazy. I looked into this case. A kidnapped victim's harrowing 911 call in 2016 launched an investigation that ended with the arrest of serial killer who admitted to murdering 5 women and left veteran Ohio detective, police officer, and emergency call dispatcher with the case they will remember forever. I don't want to forget this case. I don't want anyone to forget it, said Kim Magner, a now retired Ashland police detective who worked on the notorious case. These women could have been anyone. They could have been me. The investigation began on September 13th, 2016, when a kidnapping victim was rescued after making the troubling 911 call. Miller said the caller, who authorities referred to as Jane Doe, spoke through whispers, saying that she was being held captive in a house near a laundromat and that her captor was asleep at her side. Miller dispatched officers where she believed the caller was located. They can't just gang bust into a house, but what if he had woken up with a weapon and hurt her? Miller said. Officer Kurt Dornsey rushed to the scene, being careful to keep his patrol car siren silent and turn it off so he wouldn't alert the perpetrator. We were trying to be stealthy, Dorsey said. We were told that the suspect was sleeping, so we wanted to approach and not make a bunch of noise. Once Dorsey and his partners arrived at the scene, they saw 2 nearly identical houses on the property. Miller remained on the phone with Jane Doe, asking questions for specifics about where she was being held so she could relay the information to the officers and zero in on her exact location. As Dorsey circled the perimeter of the houses, he spotted Jane Doe's hand on a window and that she had managed to untie her restraints. Officers made the daring rescue 19 minutes after arriving at the scene. So that's nuts. Not only did someone who was kidnapped able to make a 911 call, they were able to stop a serial killer for taking more lives. Again, every day it blows my mind that these people just exist around, and probably only a small percentage of them are ever caught. Now, our next 911 call is a police officer calling 911, but you will never expect what happened.
This is 35!
This is 35?
Yes, go Deli!
You're at Paul's Deli?
Yes!
And this is 35?
Yes!
What does that mean?
Michael Ross, my badge number!
You did what?
My badge number!
What's your badge number is 35?
Yes, Michael Rusk. R-U-S-K.
And what's wrong?
I shot Sergeant Gibson.
Do what?
I shot Sergeant Gibson.
You
This 911 operators drive me crazy.
How did you do that?
Let me see, Sergeant Gibson. I pulled a gun on him. Can you advancing on me?
And you're in Paul's Deli?
Yes, in the city of Williamsburg.
Is he breathing?
He just fell out. I'm
Okay.
trying.
Okay, where did you shoot him?
I'm trying to on his right arm.
You shot him in his arm?
Yes.
And you're inside? Okay, I need you to take a deep breath for me, okay? Is he breathing?
I'm trying.
Is he breathing?
I'm trying to save his life.
Okay, take a deep breath, because if he isn't, we need to start CPR.
I'm trying.
So this was a confusing one because you hear someone freaking out, but you really don't understand the situation. So I looked it up. Ex-James City County officer gets no jail time in shooting of supervising officer. Michael Trenton Rusk, 27, was charged with the shooting of another officer in January 2023. Both were off duty at the time. In a Monday morning hearing in Williamsburg, prosecutors withdrew the use of firearm charge. According to the state's online court information system, on the charge of unlawful wounding, he was found guilty and sentenced to 3 years. All of which was suspended, the online system states. In a federal lawsuit filed in 2024, Rusk sued the city and the police department alleging sexual assault in a hostile work environment. He said that the officer, Sergeant Christopher Gibson, had been making sexual advances towards him, tracking his movements and stationing Rusk near Gibson's office. Rusk claimed in the lawsuit that Gibson had been assaulting him the night of the shooting. In a status update filed with the court in the federal lawsuit, parties stated a settlement conference in February, which concluded without resolution. However, the parties had later agreed to continue engaging in settlement negotiations. I didn't expect that, and that is crazy. The final 911 call we have is one that you wouldn't see coming. 911 call comes into her, the dispatcher, about her own son. And the way she keeps it cool, I could never.
Charleston County Emergency Services, Upper 29, location of your emergency.
Diane?
Yeah.
This is Caitlin.
Yeah.
Bruce just got
Are you serious? Where?
I'm serious. Bruce just got
In the side. Your mom is the operator. Your mom's the operator. Don't hang up. If he dies, I want to talk to him before he dies.
Bruce, talk to Mama.
Put him on the phone. Bruce?
Yeah.
Daddy, I love you. Now listen. Okay. Jesus is going to take care of you, okay? You'll be saved. You just need to calm down and just focus on that, okay? Press down on that wound, okay? Okay, honey, take a breath. Take a breath, okay? You can do this. You can do this, okay?
Mama, he's puking, Mama, he's puking.
Roll him on his side.
Roll on your side.
Roll him on his side and clean it out. Bruce?
Yeah.
I love you, baby.
I love you.
Listen to me. Talk to Jesus.
Huh?
Talk to Jesus.
I am.
Ask him to save you and do it and just believe it, okay? Do you hear me?
I love you.
I couldn't live without knowing what happened in this situation, so I couldn't find anything online. I was able to find it in the TikTok comments of this video, and I'm very happy to report that Bruce is alive, okay? Here's what it says. A real emergency incident. Years ago, Diane, a 911 dispatcher, took a distress call that became deeply personal when it turned out the victim was her son, Bruce, who had been shot. While remaining calm and performing her job, she helped direct the caller on how to control the bleeding and instruct them on what to do until help arrived. During the call, she briefly spoke directly to Bruce on the phone, told him she loved him, and encouraged him to stay focused and calm. Thanks to her guidance and the subsequent response, Bruce survived the shooting, though he suffered injuries requiring surgery. I am thankful for that, but I'm also thankful for all of you, and I hope that none of you need to call 911 anytime soon. Which of today's cases stuck with you the most? Life is scary, life is hard, and life can be rough. Keep yourself safe. Until next time, Boo Crew, love you. Thanks for watching today's video, and don't forget to check out ZocDoc.com/Selena. Book an appointment today.